Welcome back to our next episode of Divinity Original Sin 2, the 2020 guide. Alright, so last time we leveled up to level 12, alright, and we still haven't actually leveled up the characters yet. Alright, and the reason for that is I want to make sure that when they level up, we give them enough memory slots to have them memorize all the skills that I want them to memorize. So, before we do anything, I'm going to make sure we have all the skills that we want. So if you guys remember, level 12 is when vendors start selling better blank skill books for crafting. So we were going to wait until level 12 to steal a certain scroll from Lohar, and then we're going to use that scroll to combine it with a blank skill book and learn the skill permanently. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here now, and we're going to steal that scroll from Lohar. They're already kind of interrogating Marla over here, so for some reason they just don't care if you kill Marla. Like, nothing happens. They just kind of keep standing there. They don't say anything about it, which is convenient for us because her sight was blocking us from stealing from Lohar. So I'm going to go into Lohar's inventory there, and we're just going to grab the 2 scrolls, and then we're going to go back to the Under Tavern waypoint over here. Alright. So we are now going to have Mumbo talk to Ganga over here. Maybe it's Janja? Ganja. Janga. Gaha. Ganga. Anyway, we're going to talk to this lizard over here. Alright, and he sometimes will have a high tier blank Aerothurge skill book. At the moment he doesn't, so we're going to have to check the next vendor, the lizard patron over here. Alright. And she does have a high tier blank air skill book, so we're going to grab that. We're also going to grab a few more things from her, just for general crafting purposes. Alright. I think live wood log, I think we can make some stuff with that, not sure. Alright. So now, we're going to open up our crafting screen here. We're going to go to our magical items, and we're going to pick Superconductor Scroll. And then we're going to combine that with our high tier blank air skill book. And now, at level 12, we have access to a skill that you normally cannot get until level 16. Alright, very nice. So we're going to have Pyramus learn Superconductor. And Superconductor is a great power. Alright, what it is a little area around you. Okay, the physical barricades are making the shape look weird. It's just a normal circle-ish shape. Alright, so in a big area around you, you just go and you shock all the enemies in the area. Alright? But it does a lot of damage. Very strong move. Alright, so let's make sure that Pyramus knows all the skills that we're going to want him to know. So he is our Pyro and our Arrow Mage. Alright, so let's see if there's any Pyro skills we have that we want him to learn that he doesn't already have. Alright, so Laser Ray, I'm going to want him to learn Laser Ray. That's a fun skill. Alright. Then we're going to come over to the Aerothurge ones. He's got pretty much all the Aerothurge ones I'm going to want him to learn, except I want him to learn Closed Circuit. Closed Circuit is a very cool power. It's a shorter range than Superconductor, but does quite a bit more damage. Alright. Also, I wouldn't mind if he knew Mass Corpse Explosion. That one is pretty fun. Alright, and now we're going to probably respec a little bit with Pyramus. We're probably going to drop him down to 1 Scoundrel and move one of those points into Huntsman, and then give him a second point in Huntsman, because I do want him to learn Tactical Retreat. Alright. And then also, there is a skill book that we can craft. We're going to need to find a Source Huntsman skill book or a Source Pyro skill book that we aren't going to actually use. And we're going to combine those. I think we're going to just I think we might use Epidemic of Fire. We'll be able to buy one of these next level. No, we'll go and buy some later. So we're going to combine a Source Pyro book and a non-Source Huntsman book, or vice versa. And we're going to get Mass Deploy Traps. That's a pretty fun one. Alright. For the time being, I also want him to learn Epidemic of Fire. Okay? We're going to go to Mumbo now. Mumbo is our Hydro and Geo guy, so I want him to learn Acid Spores, which is a book we stole from Hanag. Alright, same with Epidemic of Fire. We stole that skill book from Hanag. Although we do have a scroll for Epidemic of Fire, so we could make the skill book of it and use that for crafting instead. I think we might do that. Alright, now with Mumbo, we're gonna come on up here. Alright, I want him to learn the Healing Ritual skill. Also want him to learn Global Cooling. And we're gonna probably respect Mumbo or something here, give him Adrenaline. Because I want all the characters to have Adrenaline and Chloroform. They're just super useful skills. Especially in a mixed damage party, Chloroform will be a lot more useful than if you run an all-physical party. And then Mumbo has a few points in Summoning, so I'm going to have him learn Dominate Mind and Soulmate as well. Now Mumbo has a bit more memory than most of our characters because he's got that Blood Rose Potion going. Alright, now I don't think I've actually used Contamination in battle like ever, so we're gonna drop that one real quick. Alright, and I really don't like using Hail Strike that much. Now that we have more spells, we're not really at risk of running out. I'm gonna get rid of that too. Okay, so we've got our spells there. So Mumbo doesn't look like he's gonna need any extra memory when we level him up. Alright, Red Prince now. Well, let's see. I want him to learn Reactive Shot as well. I'm going to want him to keep Chloroform and Adrenaline memorized. So we're going to have to get rid of something. Honestly, I know I just added in Reactive Shot, but we can save that for the next even level that we get, just the free memory slot for that. Because Reactive Shot, it's fun, but it's not super mega awesome or anything, you know. It's okay. And then with Beast over here, Beast looks like he's got plenty of memory slots. We got 3 of them that are unused. We're going to give him some polymorph skills, I think. But first, we're going to make sure he learns all of the new Scoundrel skills that we picked up. So Gag Order and Sleeping Arms. If you can use both of these and put both of their effects on the same target, it's effectively like a hard lockdown, alright? So Gag Order, if we use that, it sets silenced. When they're silenced, they can't use any magic, alright? No spells, no scrolls, nothing that's considered magic, alright? And then if they have Sleeping Arms, they have Atrophy, which means they can't use any weapons. So all they'll be able to do is move. They can run away, or they can do nothing. That's about all they'll be able to do if we're able to hit both of those statuses on the same target. So I like these two. Alright, and Gag Order does pure magic damage, so that cannot be resisted by anything. Alright, it's pretty nice. Like, the effect can be resisted, but the damage is definitely going through. Then Corrupted Blade is fun. Alright, it's a strong attack. It's 3 action points to use it. Alright, so if you notice, it has a little bit higher than the damage on the other two there. So it's going to set Decaying and Diseased for 2 turns. Alright, so Decaying makes it so that healing will actually damage the target. Alright. And then Diseased makes it so that they're just weaker. Alright, they're going to have lower constitution, they're going to do lower damage. It just makes them weak. Alright, so I like that one too. Also got a few source skills with Scoundrel. We've got Daggers Drawn and we've got Fan of Knives. Now, Daggers Drawn is cool. You do 5 stabs, alright, and they're each going to deal that 47-51. So that's like a 250 point damage attack. That was pretty good. And then this one over here is going to be just you throw a dagger at every enemy around you. Alright, now, it's debatable which one you think is going to be more useful. You know, this one can hit more enemies. That one's going to hit one enemy really hard. It's up to you. Alright, I'm going to have him learn Fan of Knives because he doesn't have a whole lot of ranged attacks, and that is a ranged attack. Alright, so Beast could get 2 more points of memory to learn that one. I am going to probably give him some more memory. Maybe not necessarily for that skill, though. Alright, because Beast is also our only person with Polymorph right now, or at least a decent amount of Polymorph, to where he can learn some of the better skills. So I want him to learn Terrain Transmutation. And I would like him to learn Spider Legs. And Bullhorns. Bullhorns we could have learned from level 1. Alright, but it's a nice power. You can dash back and forth. Gives you good mobility. Alright, so now that we know Beast, he might need some memory. Alright. Pyramus, yeah, he's probably going to need 1 or 2 points in memory. Mumbo's all set on memory, and Red Prince is all set on memory. Alright, so now we're going to level them up. So we're going to go right over here. Pyramus. Alright, we wanted those points in Huntsman. And then he doesn't need any memory, really, right? Or he does need a few points in memory. So we're going to give him 2 points in memory and then 2 points in intelligence. Mumbo's memory is fine. We're putting all those points into intelligence. And then over here, we are going to give him 1 point into Huntsman. And let's check his stuff here. Hydro's at 4. Geo's at 4. Geo's getting a smaller buff right now. We're going to put in Geo. Red Prince does not need memory. We're going to bump up that last point into Warfare. And we're going to come over here. We're going to give him more points in Finesse. Now, since Warfare is maxed, and it's the Red Prince's main damage stat, we don't have a clear-cut, easy choice here on what we're going to level up next. You could go with Huntsman, alright, get more of that high ground bonus. But I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start putting his points into Scoundrel or in Ranged, okay? So what Range does, gives you the same amount of damage bonus as 1 point in Finesse would give. And it's also going to bump up your chance of getting a critical hit. So it's kind of like putting a point into both Intelligence and in Wits, sort of. You get half the benefit from Wits. Whereas Scoundrel, you don't increase your chance of getting a critical hit, but you increase the damage that critical hits will give you. So I'm going to start putting points in Scoundrel, alright? Once his critical chance goes up a little bit, we'll start putting more points into Ranged. Alright, and then Beast is going to need at least 2 points into Memory, and then he's going to get some points into Finesse. And then, of course, more Warfare, and his Scoundrel base is 3, so I don't got to worry about him losing gear and forgetting skills. And he does have that 1 point in Geomancer, so there's actually another skill book that we're going to craft specifically for Beast. So if you take a Geomancy skill book, and you combine it with a Scoundrel skill book, alright, one that doesn't have source, you're going to get this. Oh, it went away real quick. You're going to get Venom Coating. Alright, so what Venom Coating does, it's going to add poison damage to our dagger attacks. Alright, it does it to all weapon attacks, not just daggers, but in this case, to our daggers. Alright, I don't know why it's got that big range. You can't target anybody else with it. Alright, so now our daggers are going to deal some extra poison damage there. Alright. Now, I don't know if it shows up right here, so it's showing 81 to 87. Yeah, so it doesn't show up here. But if you look, we deal a base of 81 to 87 damage. This is going to boost our damage by 44 to 47. That's like an extra 50% of your damage as poison damage. That's a pretty big buff, right? So he's going to be taking down both your physical and your magical armor at the same time with that active. Now you can also do that with rune slots, put in some elemental damage on there. You can also coat your weapons in poison. I don't normally like to coat them in poison because then if you're fighting undead, you're going to start to heal them a little bit. It's going to decrease your damage. And it's not super noticeable either way. I just don't like coating them in poison very often. You can coat your weapons in poison though if you want. Alright, so previously we talked to the Advocate and got our second source point. So now we're going to come back to Maester Siva's house and we're going to perform the ritual again to get our next source-based ability. Alright, so we're going to grab the ritual bowl that we left over here from last time. Alright, and we still have the Obsidian Lancet. We're going to use that. And then we're just going to combine them all like we did last time. We got the black root that we picked up when we were out in the Cloister Wood. Alright, we're going to combine those. Toss this right back into the middle there. And hit it with Fireball. Alright, and now we are still going to need full source points to go in there. So you're going to have Mumbo and Pyramus, or whoever your people are. Your at-character creation people. They're going to come over here to the source fountain. And you're going to make sure that those characters with the little crown next to them, you're going to make sure that they get full source. Once they have full source points, you're going to come over to this cloud and do the same basic thing that you did last time, with a slight change up. Alright, and actually, because of the slight change up, we're going to give Mumbo Mosquito Swarm there. Alright, now when Mumbo gets in here, and then we're going to have, if you have a second character from character creation, you're going to have them go in too. Now, when you get in here, you're going to learn Source Vampirism. Alright, you're going to consume Source from a corpse to gain a Source point, or you can drain Source from a living character. Alright, now if that character has magic armor, it's not going to work. Alright.
You seem different.
As you approach,
And you're going to do it with all characters, not just the one, maybe. Maybe you only have one. Depends on how you started the game off. Alright, Metro Steve is going to be like, what? Vampirism? You're stealing Source? That's not a good thing to do. But who cares? We need to. Alright, and over here, she's... Ooh, that one, that's nice. We're gonna grab that belt. Alright, so once you get that, you do have a way to gain Source points now. Mid-combat, after combat, before combat, whatever you want. So you can still use this Source Fountain to replenish your Source. Alright. A little bit less tedious to just hit that button a couple of times. Alright. But now you can just find a corpse, suck some Source, and be on your way. Oh man, that hit both of them? That was cool. Alright, so from here, alright, we're going to go back to the Driftwood Square. And now that we are at level 12, we're going to need to buy some gear. Alright, because, I mean, if you look at Beast, like, his pants are level 9. Alright, his gloves are 8, that's level 9, that's level 9, that's level 5. Alright, we need to get some better gear. Alright, so I'm going to buy some gear. And I'll be back in, for me, probably like half an hour. For you guys, I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Alright, so a bit of good news, bad news here. Finished up all the shopping I had to do there. Got most of my gear up to date. There wasn't good gear for all the slots, but I have enough of it up to date where I'll be fine. The bad news is I have no gold. I have 467 gold right now. So this is why it's good to have multiple dump traders. Alright. I can't even bribe this guy up to max attitude, actually. So I'm going to go to the Paladin Bridgehead. And over here, I know I got this guy's attitude up to 100, so I'm going to sell my stuff to him. Remember, he has no innate equipment, gear, weaponry, etc. on him. So any of the stuff you sell him, you'll know just, hey, you don't ever bother looking to buy it back. Now that filled up pretty quick. That wasn't really what I was hoping for. Went overboard a little bit. Alright, now he does have some stuff here I'd like to buy. He's got some Trumpet of Death. Those are good to have. And they're pretty cheap. I'm not going to need any more chanterelles. We're good on those. But I'm going to, keep those Trumpet of Deaths. Alright. And then I'm not sure who else I have at max attitude that has no weapons. We do have this guy. I don't think he's completely out of gold yet. Alright, so we sold back some stuff. We're now up to 7,000, almost 8,000 gold. So we're doing quite a bit better. Alright, I'll organize my skills before the next episode, because this is just sloppy looking now. Alright, so now we're ready to start up on the actual main quest finally, main plot point. Now, Lohar is actually the main plot right now, kind of. And he wants us to investigate this guy, Mordus. Alright, so he's somebody who, he kind of betrayed Lohar, alright? And this is Mordus's house over here, alright? So we're gonna come around the right hand, left hand. We're gonna come around the back here. Alright, and we got this dwarf here sleeping. Now, you could just wake her up and go right on in, but remember, we want experience, so we're gonna fight our way through here, even though we don't really have to. Alright. So I'm just gonna teleport her over here. Alright, she outsped me. But that's fine. And again, I want to use one of our new skills here with Pyromancy. You got Laser Ray. Alright, Laser Ray just shoots out a straight beam of, I want to say fire, but it doesn't even really look like fire. It's kind of like Solar Beam. If you grew up with Pokemon like I did, it reminds me of Solar Beam. Once she's out of the way, take some stuff off of her. Make sure you grab the key, and then you can head on underneath here. 5,000 XP right there. Now, once again, we want maximum XP, or close. We want more XP. Right? We don't need max XP, but we want more XP. So these guys here, you don't need to fight them at all. Alright? You could just let them go, but we want XP, so we're gonna fight these guys, and we're gonna use Superconductor right here. All right, we got them both getting hit. It just launches that electricity right on out of you, shocks them. It's great. We're gonna have Beast use his Venom coating. So now when he hops over here and uses Backlash, I'm going to do 71 poison damage. Alright, that's actually pretty cool. Now, there's some stuff on the ground here we can't get in Backlash range, or Backstab range of her, but we can get that guy. Alright, and you get a little bit of experience for getting rid of them. Now, when you come down in here, there's going to be a little trap right here. And that's going to lock us in here. That's kind of how they were stuck in here, right? Door locked up on them. Now you're going to want to move some of these out of the way, and you're going to want to search this little bookshelf hidden back here. And you're going to want to read both of these letters, alright? So those are basically what Mordus's plans are. That's how you officially, I think, find out that, you know, Mordus has for sure betrayed Lohar. You're going to want to just press the button on this thing here. That'll unlock the door. I don't know how they didn't find that button and unlock it themselves, but yeah, they were stuck because they couldn't find that. Then over here, this is actually an achievement. If you're trying to get achievements on this run. If you're using mods, you know, no achievements, but if you do want to get some, there is a skull that should be popping up over here. I mean, I don't have very good wits. Should probably work on that. Alright, so this skull here, now there is a, you know, story-related, plot-related item that will let you unlock this. But if you have at least 5 in your thievery ability, you can pick lock on that, and that'll get you an achievement, actually. And then we're going to come down here. And this is Mordus's basement, alright? So we are going to toss a red teleporter pyramid down here for later. We're not going to go through this section just yet. Alright, we're actually going to the Under Tavern, and we're going to tell we're going to tell Lohar that we found some stuff in Mordus's basement, that Mordus wasn't there. And then Lohar's going to get all mad about it and yell and send us, tell us where we got to go next. Alright, so you're going to give him the letter you found from Mordus's house. You get 2,000 XP there. Oh, you find out that Mordus is using the Mordicane ritual. Alright. So the Mordicane ritual, you'll see firsthand what that does when we get to Mordus. Alright, and a Mordus, while Lohar is sending us after him, Mordus is also one of the source masters that we can learn how to master our source from. Alright, so next episode we're going to start our venture over to find where Mordus is. Alright, so we went into his house, did a little bit of investigating, found out he's going to be using that Mordicane ritual. Next episode we're going to, be right on his track. Maybe we'll get to Mordus. I don't think we're going to get to Mordus next episode. I mean, we can, but we aren't going to be able to do it the legitimate way that I'm going to show you guys. Alright, so we're going to stop right here at this bridge next to Mordus' house, and this is where we're going to pick up next time.